Activists praise Senate's bipartisan gun control framework, but complain it falls short for not including assault weapons ban. Biden says he'll sign the bill as soon as it comes to my desk. Now, let me tell you, and I remember mentioning this to you, right? Remember how I said this is how they do it? They do the big ask. So the left comes out and they say, we want a ban on all of this shit, knowing that Republicans will bow down, knowing when I type you in, you don't come up. The Cash App is JBG 2022. I think the link down there works. The link should work in the comment section. Let me know. It should work. Let me know. I'm pretty sure it's the same. It's the link in the comment section. There it goes. There you go. My boy Salt Spreader sent 5. He said, Gun Squad, pay up. Thank you, Salt Spreader. Thank you. You know how Mexican Sue Ann loses a little. You know, she's one of them taco vendors. See, that's her way of getting out of it. I was gonna, you know, that type of thing. I'm just playing with you. But look, remember I told you this is how they do it. The big ask. Thank you, Salt Spreader. The big ask. So essentially what they're going to do here is they ask for this big thing knowing that the Republicans would cave in on the small shit, right? Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's pull this up because I want to show you guys this. And then we'll talk about it. President Joe Biden said on Sunday he will immediately sign the Senate's bipartisan bill. Now, as you guys know, the House passed it on Friday. The sooner it comes to my desk, the sooner I can sign it. A bipartisan group of senators, and that did include the 10 Republicans that they needed, unveiled on Sunday a pared-back version of the House-passed gun control legislation. Well, it does not include raising the age to purchase certain rifles from 21 from 18. But it does have a federal red flag law. See, that's what they did. They didn't pass the assault rifles ban, but what they did do is convince Lindsey Graham and the Republicans to pass a federal red flag law. There's a link in the description box, Suan. There's a link in the motherfucking description box. And besides, don't you always use Venmo, Suan? What is your problem? Now all of a sudden you're a Cash Apper. Oh, Suan sent $9.99. Thank you, Suan. Thank you. Exactly, the red flag laws will get people killed. Thank you, Suan. There you go. There she is. The Latinxes, as they call them, is a little slow. Suan said, fuck Venmo. Which the translation is, my husband found out my password to my Venmo, and he sees what I do with this money, but he don't know about my Cash App, so here you go, JB. Gotcha. The red flag thing is them bribing states to create their own red flag laws. It's not a federal. Hold on, let's check it out. I understand what you're saying. Hey, ho, Gunner, I understand. The point is that ultimately, this is the start of things. Once you get Republicans agreeing to this type of shit, because let me make this clear. Are we all in agreement that shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed? Remember when Republicans used to believe that? He says, don't refer to me as Latinx X again, JB. Aren't you an ex-Latin? Ain't you an ex-Latina? You got a little bit of that white dick and you just kind of pump the Latina out of you. She's like, you when you first started coming here, you used to speak nothing but Spanish. No habla inglés, JB. No habla inglés. Then you got the white boyfriend. He started dicking you, right? And now all of a sudden you're like, well, by God, you have it, JB. You just all of a sudden switched up. Became European than a motherfucker. And she says, I'm only white by injection. Exactly. They done injected you the Queen's language right on into you. Now, here's the problem with these red flag laws is that it is a slippery slope. It's always been a slippery slope when you're dealing with these types of things. Let's check it out.
News from Washington this hour, a bipartisan group of senators has reached a tentative agreement on new gun restrictions, including mental health and school security provisions. Now, it would not raise the minimum age of firearm purchases from 18 to 21, something President Biden and most Americans had supported. Welcome to Fox News Live. I'm Arthel Neville. Hi, Rich.
Hi, Arthel. I'm Rich Edson, and in for Eric Shawn. The bill would include a federal grant program to encourage more states to pass so-called red flag laws. This comes after a horrific spate of mass shootings, including a racist attack at a supermarket.
So, A.O. Gunner was right. They're bribing those states to pass their own red flag laws. But let me tell you something. Let's not act like Trump didn't push for these red flag laws. These Republicans, these people, they're not Second Amendment absolutists. Not even Trump. And that's what makes me so fucking sick to my stomach. In regards to this, I don't care which politician it is, whether it is Trump or whether it's Biden or no matter who it is. Anyone pushing for gun control does not understand what the Second Amendment says. Shall not be infringed. This is not a privilege. This is a right. Your right to free speech, your right to arm yourself, this is not a privilege. This is your right, your birthright as an American citizen. Not Sue Ann, she wasn't born there. But you get my drift. Gun laws are in general are unconstitutional. Exactly. They all are.
In Buffalo, New York, and the massacre.
I'm willing to say even the ban on felons owning guns is unconstitutional. You know what? I bet you if I took that shit to the Supreme Court, I bet you I'd win. Because if you are a constitutionalist, like Amy Coney Barrett or even Brett Kavanaugh, like if you believe that the Constitution is literal, there's no way around it, shall not be infringed. Any infringing is unconstitutional. It's that simple. KD says, how do we control mass shootings? Well, how do you control fat people? Do you ban forks? How do you control mass eatings? Do you ban buffets? Serious question, KD. How do you control mass eatings? Just curious. Because let me arm everyone. That's how. Exactly. That's a very good thing. The mass shootings can't happen if after the mass shooter starts shooting, he gets shot back after the first one. That's not the same. Of course it is. You're blaming the object, Katie. You're blaming the object. You blaming the gun for the person is just like blaming the fork for the fat motherfucker. But the answer is, what stops a bad guy with a gun? A good guy with a gun. I know that sounds cliche, but it's the truth. How can anyone deny that that's the truth? Well, sure. Well, how do you stop mass stonings? How do you stop mass stabbings? What about mass shooting? What mass bow and arrowings? I just saw one the other day. Yeah, I think it was in Australia. Dude had a bow and arrow and was just picking off people at the grocery store. Remember that? How do you stop that? And yes, let's get the kids off the damn dope. Exactly, Giga Chad. He said mass shootings being on the rise and the nuclear family being on decline may have a link. Yeah. Or I agree with you. Maybe we just have families again. We teach our kids right from wrong. Countries that have no firearms use bombs. That's when the real mass casualty events go full tilt. Exactly. It's not the object. And let me tell you something. You guys trying to keep people like me, felons, from having guns? Does that stop in mass shootings? No. Thugs are still out there shooting people. Those mass shootings are still happening. Gangs shooting up other gangs are still happening. We are very polite in Alabama. Yes. Sue Ann says, today we went to a birthday party at a skating rink. My man and I had to decide who was going to opt out of skating because at least of one of us had to bring our arms. Crazy to even have to decide that. Exactly. Cain killed Abel with the rock. We've had mass stonings in the history of this planet. Mass hangings. Mass stabbings. Exactly, Mindy, every weekend. So the answer is maybe stop putting these kids on psychotropic drugs. The last two shooters were not felons, exactly, Tim. We arm everyone. We need to arm everyone. We need to push for our Second Amendment. We need to not take away gun rights. We need to give more gun rights. He says, I don't hang. Saw Spreader says, I don't hang with libs, and I'm still always armed. Exactly. Car plows in the crowd, liberals blame the driver. Guy uses gun, liberals blame the gun. Exactly. That's a good question. How do we stop Black Lives Matter from running over white ladies singing Christmas hymns? We ban the cars to stop mass running over? See what I'm saying?
Of 19 children and 2 teachers at a grade school in Uvalde, Texas. Any new legislation would need at least 60 votes to pass in the Senate.
Exactly,
and a simple
great.
majority in the House. Associate editor of the Wall Street Journal and Fox News contributor John Bussey is standing by for analysis. But we first go to Lucas Tomlinson live at the White House with this breaking news. Lucas.
Well, Rich, just moments ago, the White House putting out a statement from President Biden saying that this is a proposal. Here it is. Here's the statement. I want to thank Senator Chris Murphy and the members of his bipartisan group, especially Senators Cornyn, Sinema, and Tillis, for their tireless work to produce this proposal. There's that word again. Obviously, it does not do everything that I think is needed, but it reflects important steps in the right direction. And it goes on to say, Rich, that every day passes more.
So that's why there's so much red tape. But you need to understand the only people that follows the red tape is law-abiding citizens. You understand? Some of us still have all the things you want banned. Technically, I'm not legally allowed to drive. If I want to do a mass running over, I can still do a mass running over. Fades down at, there you go, 70 exactly. If people want to kill, Giga Chad says they'll find a way. Guns are just the easiest option, of course. But let me tell you, there's mass poisonings that can happen. If people want to kill people, humans for a long time have always found ways to murder people, to kill people. Humans are flawed by nature, and they're going to keep finding ways. And guess what happens? You can now 3D print a firearm. And no one would even know you had it. All you have to do is go get a 3D printer and you can start 3D printing guns. They're not that hard to do. I've seen it happen. Yeah, it's stopping people. And you know you can buy a 3D printer for like $200. Exactly. A machete will work.
Children are at risk to be killed in mass shootings
Always find
across
ways.
the country. The FBI saying that in 2020 there was over 21,000 murders in this country. And of course, this all comes after a spate of mass shootings in Buffalo, Uvalde, Chattanooga, and Philadelphia. Now, our colleague Mike Emanuel has just put out some news. A GOP, a Republican aide, tells him, quote, this agreement on principles is not legislative text. The details would be critical for Republicans, particularly the firearms-related provisions. One or more of these principles could be be dropped if text is not agreed to. So what we're learning right now, Rich, is that this is all a proposal. The president applauding this agreement from this small bipartisan group of lawmakers, these senators, Chris Murphy and John Cornyn, of course, from Texas, site of that horrific mass shooting in Uvalde. But this is just the first step, an agreement on principles. We're not seeing full legislation right now, but President Biden urging that it passes.
All right, so they're going to do this. Let me show you something. Right now, I'm going to show you the rhinos, the Republicans, that sold you down the river, okay? Oh, no, that's something else. That's something else. Let me show you. Where was it at? Let me see. I know I saw the list. Fuck, where's it at? Hold on. Now I got to find it. I know Lindsey Graham was on the list. Let me try it this way. Let me try it this way. I think I see it here. Hold on. No, I don't want. Yeah, that's what it was. The Lindsey Graham shit. Upgrade out here, up here, calling people out. Hold on, let me show you this list of people. So we'll not have a way to stop this mass shooting. So, bro, does gun laws in Chicago stop mass shootings in Chicago? Does crack laws stop crack? Do you see what I'm saying, KD? Does that make sense? Oh, here's the list. Here's the Senate Republicans that voted for this. John Cornyn, Tom Tillis, who I used to respect. Fuck Tom Tillis. Roy Blunt, Senator Burr, Bill Cassidy, Senator Collins, of course, Lindsey Graham, Mitt Romney, of course, Senator Portman, Toomey, and of course, Mitch McConnell. Your head Republican right now, Mitch McConnell, signed on it. Mitt Romney, of course, signed on it. Lindsey Graham's pussy ass signed on it. Those are the traitors to your country. Those are the people that have no respect for our Constitution. I want Lindsey Graham's punk ass out of there. I'm tired of him. I don't even understand how can Utah keep putting Mitt Romney anywhere? Is that where he is, Utah still? How can South Carolina accept this? Trump would sign it? Probably. I'm not saying you're wrong, Tim. Especially because it was the red flag laws. I'm not saying you're wrong. But these are the people. These are the people that are supposed to be on your side, who openly voted to destroy your Second Amendment. These scumbags right here. And then we're not even done. We're not even done. So let me give you a little details what the deal actually is. I know you saw, you saw the video. So it could have been much worse. It could have been much, much worse. There was some few independents too. There was a lot of people. So it provides resources to states and tribes to create and administer laws that help, hold on, intervention orders, investment in children and family health services, promotions so then they go into domestic violence, all this different shit, school safeties, under 21 enhanced process, so there'll be background checks for those under 21. Penalties for straw purchasing, which is crack down on criminals who illegally straw purchase and traffic guns. I don't understand how there's such thing as illegally doing any of that. We have a Second Amendment. So then, of course, the Democrats wanted way more. And they didn't get everything they wanted, of course. Because it goes back to what I said earlier. It's the big ask. Mitt Romney is no surprise. Look up Ghost Gunner. What do you mean? KD wants to disarm law inviting citizens to prevent mass shooting. Meanwhile, Iraq has the strictest gun laws around, and they have mass shootings every day. Exactly. And that's what I'm asking KD. I ain't seen a response from KD. KD, the places with the biggest gun laws in America have the most mass shootings. Chicago is constantly. So if some mental insane with a gun outside your house just firing, it's your job to defend yourself? Well, who else's job is it? Who else's job is it to defend myself? Serious question. Yes, it's my job to protect my house. Whose job is it? Oh, you think I should call the police? You think as a grown man I should come help me? You think that we should call other men to help us? I'm sorry. Do you know how long it takes to respond to a call? Serious question. Men don't call other men. Yeah, men. So you want me as a man to call another man for help instead of just doing it myself, right? Let's take a look at it. Let me Google this. Let's see if we can find this. Let me see. Average police response time. Oh, ain't that a bitch? Bro, ain't this a bitch? How would you know when someone is going to shoot you up? Well, nobody knows. But you need to be prepared if they... What does that mean? Why would you know? But you always need to be prepared for it. If you don't want red flag laws. Do you know what a red flag law is? Do you understand somebody in my family could call them and say, I think JB's a crazy racist. I think he needs some mental help. Do you understand that's what a red flag law is? It's not like somebody medically deciding that about you. It's when someone in your family or anything like that calls them and says, and do you understand? Puts a red flag on you. They restrict you from having them until they solve it. Let me tell you something. Let me show you this, my friend. What's up, Robert? In 2017, researchers found that the average police response time was around 10 minutes. Department of Homeland Security research revealed the average duration of an active shooter incident at the school was 12.5 minutes. Yet the average response time for law enforcement is 18 minutes. Let that sink in. The average, but there's no way to protect the community. The community should protect itself. Why does the community needs to protect itself? If you have security in schools, if you have, like, KD, you're the man of your house. You don't need somebody. So I want you to look at this. Let's say someone breaks in to rape your wife. Let's say someone breaks in your house to do you harm, brother. You see right here the average response time for a cop. How do you stop mass shooting? There is no way. Humans are going to be humans. Even if you took the guns away, all you're going to do is they're going to start mass stabbings. And by the way, the answer to your question is if you arm everyone, KD. Let me explain to you how this works. Let's say you and me are at a amusement park. I got a gun. You got a gun. The next man's got a gun. The minute that mass shooter starts to shoot, if everyone around him is armed, there's not going to be any mass shooting because the minute he shoots one, someone else is going to take him out. Does that make sense to you? But I'm showing you right here, the average police response time in a home call is 10 minutes. The average active shooter incident lasts 12 and a half minutes. The average police response time to an active shooter is 18 minutes. Do the math. In an active shooter situation, everyone's dead. The cops do not arrive for the average response for law enforcement is 18 minutes. The shooting only takes 12 and a half minutes. Do the math. What's up, Sean? Is all good? Does that make sense, Katie? So the police are not the answer. Disarming the public is not the answer, because then who's going to do it? Some people don't have good judgment. Those people are going to get guns anyway, though. Don't you agree? Don't you agree that people without good judgment are going to get guns anyway? Look at Chicago. Those people don't have good judgment, and they all got guns. And it's illegal there. Say no, not at all. To what? I'm sorry, I don't remember what my question was. My point is that criminals aren't going to follow the laws. All we're going to do is take away guns from law-abiding citizens because maybe some family member has a grudge against them. Some ex-girlfriend, some ex-wife. JB shouldn't have guns. He didn't let me eat enough Reese cups, and I think he's deadly. I think he's dangerous. Right? That's how it works. We shall not be infringed, brother. We either believe in our Constitution or we don't. But I want you to understand, these people, it's not even just this strategic placement, exactly. So we see the Republicans turned on us. This gun control is going, so this is step number one, red flag laws. But it's not even it. I want you to check this out. Look what else Republicans did. Taking the guns from us is just transferring them to the killers. Exactly. They don't follow laws, man. None of the actual criminals are going to follow laws. Exactly. Too many people are willing to sacrifice their freedom for the perception of safety. And we know what Benjamin Franklin said. But check this out. Bipartisan group of Democrats and Rhino senators come to an agreement on Electoral Count Act. They will require 20% of Congress to challenge a state's electoral votes. What? State elections cannot be federalized. That's the point. You see what I'm saying? You can never defend yourself with a firearm. You would go back to prison. Oddly enough, I have my gun rights back, dummy. Go check. I literally have a permit in Indiana since my felony. Dummy. Katie says, I believe in it, but it was written too long ago and needs to be amended. For what? What needs to be amended? So you think that gun rights shall be infringed? You think gun rights shall be infringed, Katie? You think it's a good thing? You think it's okay to not have a way to defend yourself against criminals and or tyrants? You really believe that? What's next? Do you believe they should violate our Fourth Amendment? You think it's okay to, let me guess, Katie, you think it's okay for them to spy on us, right? Because if we have nothing to hide, why would we care, right? And I bet you that's exactly what you think. Exactly, Upgrade. Exactly. And Sue Ann's funny as shit. So what about First Amendment? Should we only be able to worship who you think we should worship? Or watch, or should we only have free press if we say the things that you want us to say? Should we only have freedom of speech as long as we don't hurt or trigger people? Come on, bro. Hey, he's I think we need a way to keep the bad dudes to get a gun. But okay. Let me bad people, criminals, don't follow laws. Dang. What would you do to, define bad? Listen, he is young. He's a little young fella. What would you do, Katie? What is your definition of bad? Huh? You think I'm bad? Do you think I'm bad? Serious question. Do you think I should not have the right to defend my family and my treasure or my life? Exactly. It's not, you can't pass laws to keep guns out of bad guys' hands. But yes, define what a bad person is, right? And then tell us how we would keep those people from having guns. Without. What's up, Tenor Breeze? Tenor Breeze got here a little bit late again. You know, he has the multiples. His ass has been sitting there squealing in bed for the last half hour, 45 minutes. You know Tenor Breeze. What's up, Peter K? You know. What's going on, Peter? Hate to say it, but 76 is the one. No, I agree with that. I agree. Or the Boston Tea Party. Exactly. So, KD, that's what I want to love to get from you. Because, listen, we can have a conversation. I'm not here to insult you. I genuinely want to have the conversation. Morality cannot be legislated. It doesn't work, period. I agree with that. Peter K is late, too. That's all right, brother. I guess there's no way. Well, yeah. Because there is no way. There is no way to stop humans from being evil. Humans are evil. Is there a way to stop rape? So, serious question, Katie. Exactly. He already busted twice and saying hi to the JB. He's just over there multiplying it. He's still having them. I'm never going to let him live that down. KD. I guess that's the question. KD's been here for a while. I can't believe he hasn't the light. KD stopped drinking tap water. Exactly. That's all I'm saying, man. Is the only way. Kika, I'm literally doing nothing right now. Right. As I was saying, KD, is listen, sometimes it's belief. And I agree, give everybody a gun, that will calm some suckers. Armed security in schools. We can't stop humans from being humans, man. I'm asking you a serious question, and then we'll move on from this. Can we stop rape? I just say think outside the box. We are thinking outside the box. I'm asking you, what way can we stop it? Because by your same logic, we should be able to stop rapes or child molesting. Humans are humans. Bad is going to happen. My question to you I'm willing to think outside the box with you. How do we stop bad guys? How do we stop bad guys, as you say, from doing mass shootings? This is a sensitive issue for JB. JB is the bad guy and KD is calling him out. Right. Come find out, troll. Come find out. I guarantee you still won't, will you? Because you have no clue what's in this drawer and what isn't. Do you? See, unlike KD and unlike the rest of these people, I don't listen to these. I don't listen to laws. I'm not a law-abiding citizen. At all. At all. I don't pay taxes, and I don't listen to none of this bullshit. I'm a libertarian. I do what the fuck I want to do. Come find out. Come find out. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do, coward. Anyways, exactly. Being a citizen makes you subject to the state. Technically doesn't it? Yes, I don't believe in being a slave to none of these motherfuckers. But anyway, that point is, KD, you're losing your breath. Yes, I'm exhausted. Exhausted. And that's exactly why I stay ready. Because you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I am losing my breath. But if you come here, I guarantee you'll lose yours quicker. Anyways, my point here, Katie, I can't be stopped by the laws. Thank you, Upgrade. I can't be stopped by the laws. The only person your laws would hurt are these people in this chat room that follow laws. I don't give a fuck what bans they do. It's not gonna stop me. It's not gonna stop me. Okay, KD, I'm asking you, how do you stop the child molester? You make it illegal, right? Nothing you're saying that makes sense. How do you stop child molesters? You make it illegal, right? That's all you can do. That's all you can do to stop child molesters. You can't make it illegal for all the rest of the humans to be around children. Do you see the point? Yeah, you shoot them. Exactly, Mike. Does that make sense? Let me give a shout out to my boy Peter K and his wife, beautiful wife. Thank you. Always good to catch up with. He sent in 10. Thank you. Appreciate you. But thank you very much, Peter, and your wife. Appreciate you both. Do you not see it? You're just wanting it to stop, and you don't care. But you haven't given an actual way to stop it. If I wanted to go do a mass shooting tomorrow, which I got a disclaimer, I don't want to because it's not my thing. Gun laws wouldn't stop that. It's that simple. Any more than child molestation being illegal stops the chomos. Rape being illegal stops the rapists. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, it did cross. Let me give a shout. Yes, let me give a shout out to my boy. Let me give a shout out to my boy Robert. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, Robert. Robert sent 5. Thank you very much, brother. So we should okay abortion for what? Why should we okay abortion? He said, should I start you rather let you die? Exactly. What do you? Okay. Yeah, thank you, Robert. Let me add this to. Let me ask you a serious question. What do you mean? So we should ban abortion, or we should be okay with abortion? How do those two things coincide? Abortion is murder. We already make them. KD, murder's already illegal. How is owning a gun the equivalent to committing murder? If we're not going to follow laws, who cares? No, you people can follow laws all you want. I ain't following it. You think I'm going to let you or any of the rest of these motherfuckers tell me what I can do to defend my family? Suck my dick. I want you to think about that, Katie. You think I should let you and them who's scared to death of mass shootings tell me I shouldn't have the right to defend my family just in case Trolley wants to bring his bitch ass here? You're really telling me that? That I should have to follow this dumbass law, or anyone should have to follow it and let their family go unprotected because you're scared? It's my right to defend myself. It's that simple. Yeah, go follow laws. Exactly, go follow laws then, motherfucker. Tell me how to follow laws. Especially if them laws put my family in danger. An armed society is a polite society. It's not a privilege, it's an inherent right. Yes, you have a right to defend yourself. Exactly. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Is that people ain't gonna listen, just like these abortion laws. These whores are still gonna kill their babies. And that's when you lock them up for it. The problem is the ones that don't. Yeah? And those people aren't going to follow laws anyway, KD. Those people that are going to go out there and do those things aren't going to follow the laws anyway. I don't understand why it's not sinking in. The only people that gun restrictions and gun laws hurt are you, the law-abiding citizen. The crazies and the criminals are still going to be they're still going to be armed. Take it from me. People that want guns, they're not going to give a fuck about your laws. Just look at me and trust me, Katie. We don't care. We're not going to care. They're not going to care. It's that simple. The only people that will follow it is law-abiding citizens. And that puts the law-abiding citizens at a disadvantage. That gives the criminals the advantage because they'll keep their guns, but you law-abiding citizens will give yours up. That's why I'm not siding with you law-abiding citizens. Not on this. If you give up your gun, you're a dummy. If you give up your ability to protect your house, your family, and all that, you're a dumb man. It's that simple. When they tried confiscation, we were all out. We are all outlaws. Exactly. And what are you going to do when that time comes, KD? When they come confiscate all your guns, KD, we are trying to make it harder for these people to get it. But it doesn't, bro. You understand, like, I can get one just like that. You understand, so can they. Do you see what I'm saying? My boat, mine also sunk as well, Suan. Do you see what I'm saying? Criminals don't go through criminals don't go through the red tape. Does that make sense to you, KD? Criminals don't go through that red tape. They just have someone bring them a gun. It's that simple. There's no paperwork. There's no nothing. They scrape or scratch off the numbers and it's a done deal. It's that simple. So no, the red tape and the laws don't make it harder for those criminals because they didn't care to begin with. At all. First song I see, first song I play, I'm going to go grab a square real quick because I didn't bring him in here. Hey, JB, I'm going to visit you next time you have a crying spell. I will put you out of your misery, right? I can't wait till you do it. Don't talk about it. Be about it, bro. You wouldn't know how to put a motherfucker out of their misery. How can someone that trolls on the internet even know how to put someone out of their misery? Stop smoking in the house. I'm about to smoke right now. I'll be right back. And then what's crazy is like, Trolley is like, JB, do you know you've cried before? Yeah, motherfucker, of course I have. You know you cried when you lost your dog, JB? Yes, I did. I cried when one of my dogs died. I cried when the second dog died, and I cried when I lost his third dog. Is that a trans group? That's funny, KD. Just so you know. He said, I'm going to put you out of your misery. I'll go ahead. That way I ain't got to deal with this new broad's kids anymore. You're human. What a shock. Exactly. I've cried several times in my lifetime. Much more than y'all have saw. No doubt about it. You should see me today. You should see me. You should see me when my sports teams lose. I get emotional. Ruben says I cried when my dog died, so did my wife and my children and his family, of course. But here's what you do, Trolley. You cry when you watch me. You get sad. You're like, JB's not supposed to still be on here. I mean, you know what movie makes me cry, Stacey Johnson? Is there anybody here that can watch the movie John Q and not cry? I cry when Titanic happens. I cry when that bitch lets Jack float to the bottom of the ocean. I cry out of pain from that. Like, just push the bitch off the raft, man. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah. John Q is a movie that will fuck you up. Can you imagine that? Like being in the hospital with your son and shit, and that kind of shit. I'd lose my shit too. Like that. Anybody that's like had kids, you put yourself in that position, right? You do. Like you put yourself in that position mentally, and it's like you can, or even if you don't have kids, I think you could, right? Some of that shit. No, KD. People cry. I think a lot of us men, though, we keep it to ourselves a lot of times. You know, we do. And I think we should. I think men need to be examples of strength and not cry necessarily in front of everybody. Sometimes you have no choice though. Empathy is a hell of a thing. Sometimes. I cried when Rush Limbaugh died. I don't blame you there. Well, shit, Titanic at the end, he saved me in every way a woman can be saved. Classic. Yes. You cry over pathetic issues like your dog dying. Yes. Yes, you're right. You're right. It was sad. Pathetic issue. A death of a family member. I cried. Pathetic. You cry every time you watch me, though. I never cried over my ex. That's a complete lie. I've never cried over any ex ever. And you know that. You know you're lying. Completely lying. You're completely lying. Because I cried when Owen Hart. I cried when Owen Hart died, too. That was some sad shit. Yeah, he wish I did. Yes. But Trolley always says it. He said I cried about my ex before that, and then my wife. Oddly enough, as I'm always in some new pussy immediately afterwards. Yes. I sure cried while I was in some new pussy. Oh, baby, give it to me. MJF fight, my man. That was good. Trolley just make shit up. Yeah. Oh, I ain't crying over no bitch. That never happens. Yeah, I would cry like a bitch if Biden becomes president again. Yeah. No, and that's a good thing. I cried in 2020 when they reversed it. I cried the next day when Trump lost it in the middle of the night. I cried that day too. Because I knew the country was going. Yeah, the trolls are getting weak. They're not even good at it no more. They're not even. I cry when they don't leave, exactly. I cried when I see the bill. I cried when I saw the bill for them goddamn kids. That's what I cried about. Oh! I'd cry like a bitch if they impeached Biden. Yeah, because then we get that war as president. I agree completely. 100%. Mike Jackson cries over his hemorrhoids. I'd cry too if I had hemorrhoids. For some reason, that's a sign of weakness, but your trolling is not a sign of weakness. Crying over losing a dog is a sign of weakness, but yet trolling people is not a sign of weakness. Let that sink in. If Trump makes it back in office again, my advice would be to if you go to Washington, you want a friend, get a dog. Agreed. Tyson cried before every fight to go laugh at him and see what happens. Exactly. He won't even come at me. He's had my address for the longest time. Him and that whole group over there have had my address for the longest time. And they've never showed up. But they watch me and cry all the time. Just saying. I thought you'd be gone. But yeah, trolling is a sign of bitchness. Keep in mind, there's a bitch laying in my bed right now. There's not one laying in yours, Trolly. And if there is, and you're on here trolling, watching someone you don't like, that means you're a gay man. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Just odd people, window lickers, exactly. So let me explain this. Along with the gun shit, this came. The Electoral Count Act is proposed United States federal law that adjusts the procedures set out in the U.S. Constitution for the counting of electoral votes following a presidential election. The act, first enacted by Congress in 1887, 10 years after the disputed 1876 presidential election, in which several states submitted competing slates of electors, and a divided Congress was able to resolve the deadlock. Basically, they are literally making it to where, why are you going back and forth with me? Because I enjoy it. I enjoy it, Charlie. You caught me in a good mood. It's the end of the week. I understand. You think do you understand what you think of yourself? Right? Let me give you some life coaching, Charlie. You shouldn't think so low about yourself. Do you understand that what you just said was, why are you paying attention to me? Well, because you're in my chat room. I look at you the same way as I look at everybody else. You're a person too, troll. A bad person, but you're a person. And I care. I care about your grievances. Okay, Charlie? I want you to have a good day. I want you to get all the answers to the questions you seek. You're a person. Say it with me. Say, I'm a person, damn it. Say it right now as you look at your phone. Because God knows you're not on a computer anywhere. As you look on your phone, I want you to just pull this down and look at the mirror, the camera. Look at your smile into that camera. Say it with your chest, exactly. And say, I'm a person, damn it. And the more you do that, the more you'll realize, the more you think that, the more other people will think that. And I think that, Charlie. So I respond to you because I think you're a real boy. Exactly, Mike. I'm a real boy. That's why. Okay? What is this, Sunday school? Yes. So yes, someday you'll grow up, Charlie. Someday you'll accept what I'm saying. And someday you'll like yourself. You'll love yourself. You'll realize that you do have what it takes to do something other than this. And that's the truth. You already said you wouldn't go back and forth with trolls. Well, I lied to you, troll. I lied to you. I understand that you look at yourself as a troll. But I've decided I look at you as a human. I look at you as a person. I look at you as a fan of my work. And truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all of your years and years of support. Thank you for all your years and years of following me. And thank you for the wetness around my dick after you raised your lips up off of it. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your constant riding of my D. Thank you. I appreciate you. Maybe people need to tell you that more. So, Troll, look at me. Look at me. I love you, and I thank you for your dedication. So, currently, a group of Republicans and Democrat senators are working together to adjust the act so Americans can never challenge a disputed or stolen election again in the future. Listen to this. So I want you to, JB cries a lot, we love you. We do love you. Can you cry again? Yes, I can. I can. I can. So I want you guys to understand, currently, the same Congress is trying to take your guns. If you look right here, they're trying to adjust the act so that Americans can never challenge a disputed vote again. The proposed rules will require 20% of Congress, the House and Senate, to challenge the results from any state. Let that sink in. Surely has colic on his tongue from JB's balls. Yes. Exactly. It's unconstitutional. KD thinks it's a good thing that states can't challenge or question the voting results. You think it's a good thing that we shouldn't be able to recount or challenge the results if we think something was amiss? That's what you think, really? You think we should just have to accept the first answer no matter what? No, you don't. So you've never heard of recounts? You've never heard of... No, it's not good. It's centralized bullshit. Exactly. Do you understand that's why they're making the law? Is because of 2020? So we can't challenge it anymore? Right, we don't want the same thing we had in the last election. So if it happens, we should be able to challenge it. You know, we should be able to challenge it, right? What is it that we shouldn't want? But you don't think the states should be able to challenge their own elections? You think the federal government should be able to stop states from challenging their own elections? You do understand elections are state ran, right? All of them. So you think the states should have less power and the federal government should have more power over the elections? Exactly, Ruben. It tells me the Democrats plan to take 2022 or 2024, maybe both. Maybe both. It's an insane thing that we got going on here right now. I don't even know how to really explain it.